For the game, you were asked, what kind of coach you'll be, and you said, you and I are going to find out. After one game, it's early yet. What have you learned about yourself so far?
I'm really just trying to learn this team right now. My focus is being there for them, trying to get their minds right. I haven't really had time to even think about where I'm at or how I feel. It's really just about moving the team forward. The season doesn't stop, so obviously we play tomorrow. We have back-to-back coming up. So it's looking at the film, seeing where we can help our guys today in practice.
How are you handling just the inundation of stimuli? I mean, you must be getting a million text messages, a million voicemails. That's not even related to your job. I mean, that's related to your job, but it's not a part of your job. And you're helping, obviously, you're preparing for the opponent. You're interacting with your players. How are you handling this, what must be a whirlwind for you?
It's just an approach of one task at a time, one day at a time, staying in the moment, looking at how we can help our guys today. And that's really the focus for me.
You talk about having to learn the team again. Is there really a huge step up in being an assistant coach and being around these guys and being in that lead chair?
I think we know each other on a personal level. The relationships are there. That's not changing. But I think we're all just trying to figure out a rhythm together. In the game, that's going to be a big part of how we handle substitutions, how we handle timeouts. It's just getting a comfort level within a game. I think it's just going to take some time.
You guys have had success scoring 2-point field goals all year. Is there a way you can improve 3-point attempts, free throw attempts as well? Is there something you can kind of implement that could help those areas?
I think so. We're going to continue to emphasize making the extra pass, sharing the ball, and we do a good job getting to the paint, as you said. I think in the paint last night we won the paint 58-30. So again, a very good night for us, protecting the paint and getting there. But we want to emphasize more threes, drive and kick, hit the open man. And that's something we'll continue to look at, as we move forward.
Players last night said that they gave you the game ball in the locker room. What was that moment like for you?
I was just proud of them. I mean, they've been dying, scrapping for a win. I was just happy for them. The 15 men in that room felt a sense of accomplishment, and they fought for each other. If you saw our bench last night, it was fantastic. It's like being around a bunch of college kids, So they really got us through. The players got us through. The bench got us through. It was really a moment for them, and it's a special group.
Talk about the matchup against the Bulls.
Tough matchup, always. Physical team, defensive team. When you play Chicago, you got to bring your hard hat. We can't give up the offensive rebounds as we gave up last night. That's going to be a big challenge for us. Pau Gasol's always a problem. Derrick Rose. So we've got our hands full tomorrow. But today's really about focusing on cleaning up some things from last night and where we can improve and help our guys moving forward.
Do these practices that you're going to have, given that you've got such limited practice time, are they going to be a little bit more intense, a little bit more physical than they typically would be, or are you going to try to avoid all sorts of contact and running?
It's tough with the schedule. It's just the amount of games. We have to be smart with our players. We don't want, it is a tough time because we do want to practice a little bit more, but at the same time, it's about the players staying healthy, staying fresh. We can do a ton of drills all we want, but if they're dead tired of the game, that doesn't accomplish too much. So it's a balance. It's a balance for us right now. Trying to gain some practice time and keeping them fresh and ready for the next game.
I don't recall who said this. It might have been a player, might have been you during your post game, but someone commented that in huddles you would ask guys, what do you see out there? What do you think? What's your sense of what's going on? Was that something that you plan to ask? Was that just something that occurred to you at the time? And Did you get any good suggestions?
You know, I like hearing from the players. I think you learn from them. They're the focus. They're on the court. They feel the game. They know the game. They're sensing what the game is producing, and so it's important for me to hear from them. And I think the coaches I've been around in my career here in the NBA, they've wanted that. They like that type of interaction. I think it helps the group. This is not a dictatorship. You know, we're trying to do this thing together. So I want to hear from them in practice, in film sessions, in the game.
That is similar in that sense to Jacques' philosophy, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Obviously, it was great holding the opponent under 100 points, but what does it mean for the team's defensive rehabilitation when you go from getting one block through 3 quarters to the fourth and overtime, you get 5 blocks, and you visually see all that defensive swarming?
I think hopefully we gain a sense of an identity with that, moving forward, that's who we want to become defensively. It was nice to see it start to pick up as the game went along. Now our challenge is, can we do that for as close to 48 as possible? If we can continue to see that throughout the game, we're going to be a pretty good defensive team.
We've seen Aaron play a lot of the 4 this year, but not against a guy as big as Ed Davis last night. How did he fare in that 4th quarter against Ed, and could we see him going up against bigger guys like that in the future?
I think so. We'll mix it up with him. He's capable of guarding, 3s, 4s. He's just a good basketball player. So we're going to move him around. He's so versatile on both ends of the floor. And I thought he did well last night. The board was an issue for us. That'll be one of our focuses moving forward. We are moving around quite a bit right now defensively, so when the shot goes up, now we got to find bodies. But we're big enough, we're physical enough, we're athletic enough. We just got to emphasize it, here moving forward.
It's always kind of a shock when there's a coaching change. Do you, especially in the middle of the season, do you rely more on the veteran players who've maybe been through this to kind of temper that shock a little bit?
Absolutely. The vets are a big piece of this thing. And, they're going to help me, help our group, help the young players. We're all in it together, and we rely heavily on our vets.
Do you expect that it will take you some time, some trial and error to find the consistency in terms of lineup and rotations that ideally you would like to see?
It's just going to take time. As you said, it's going to take time. You just have to go through the process. I'm learning on the fly, they're learning, and collectively we're going to figure it out together. But it's just going to take some time.
How are you going to handle scouting opponents? Because my understanding is that on a full coaching staff, often it's divided among the 4 assistant coaches.
Right.
Are you able to say how
we're in the process right now of evaluating that and how we want to do that moving forward. The last 48 hours or so is, there's been so many other focuses for us, but we'll look at that here in the next few days. The assistants we do have, they're gonna work and they're gonna do their best, and I'm gonna challenge them too. But I love scouting, so it's always been a part of what I do. I'll be a part of that. The assistants will chip in, and we'll just figure it out together.
To delve into your personal life one more time, which is something you're going to learn as a coach, how many text messages, congratulations, did you receive last night?
Many texts, many calls. I'm just thankful to all these people. I have a great deal of support, love, a lot of friends and family. And I think they're just excited for our team. They were excited for our guys last night. They had a great effort. They brought the juice, the energy, and our guys really pulled us through last night.
Everyone good?
Thanks, Coach.